welcome. I've said welcome like 15 times because I did not know when we were going live. And let me be honest. Let me be completely honest. We have failed you, my friends. We have failed you many times. We have not come correct for the last 2 live streams. But they were our first 2 live streams. This is our 3rd one. And this one's going to be a banger. This one will be played in clubs for at least the next week and a half, if not months. I wish months. But it perhaps will not be so. What we have here is a big grab bag of probabilities. There's all kinds of stuff that could happen. First, let's check the chat group. Is there anybody paying attention to us? Hello, first stream I've been to. Hello, Turner EG. And John, let me ask you guys, are we live? Can you hear me? Tell me if you can hear me. Our main problem so far has been sound, so I hope, for goodness sake, that our sound is good. Where do we begin? We are here to watch WandaVision. If you've made it here, you have dealt with a great conglomerate of nonsense. And you are wondering, what the hell is going on? Well, we're here to help you with that. We are. It's true. My name is Will Morgan. I'm your favorite gunter. If you don't know what a gunter is, then you need to Google more often. That's all I need to say. I am an Easter egg hunter, and I will find all of them, whether they be there or not. And that's what we're dealing with. They might not be here, but I'm pretty sure they are. I've been doing this for a while. When I said that this was a show of probabilities, I meant it. There may be people involved in this show that you will not expect. But that is the whole premise of WandaVision, isn't it? We have a set of characters, and we don't know who the hell they are. This is truth, people. I speak truth. I speak logic. And the logic is that we have a certain amount of individuals with us here tonight. Besides myself, Will Morgan, there is homeboy, double AA wrong. This is me primo. This is my homies. This is my fams. This guy is my guy in the van. He makes sure all of our shit works correct. And again, once again, I have mentioned that everything has not worked totally correct. And this whole fucking shit shit. Oh man, we've had problems. And we will have more. We will eat sandwiches. We will have celebratory festivities. And there may be some technical difficulties. In fact, if I were you, I would expect and believe in those technical difficulties because they're in character. All right. Also, besides Double A Ron, we may have Ashcon. I know, it sounds like a Decepticon. And he pretty much is. He's like an extra for the Last of Us video game. Fucking guaranteed. Now listen, his role is the dude in the van. My guy is to explain crazy shit. This guy is here to question crazy shit. That's what he's here for. And he'll do it. I hope. Probabilities? I don't know. We'll say 70%. Also, Andras Jones will be joining us tonight. Probabilities for that? Above 90. Yay. Why would Andras Jones be joining us? Because I am out of my depth, people. There are things that I don't know, and there are things that Andras Jones knows, and I need him to know those things. Bottom line. A simplest explanation, least words. Andras Jones is an actor. He's in the movie industry. But he also does weird shit. And by weird shit, I mean meta eggs. He searches out meaning. Most things in life have a 2.5 meaning. That's what I call it. That means they mean one thing, but they mean something else. And usually, that 2.5 meaning is expressed in dreams. Andras Jones was raised by a dream psychologist. No, that's cool. And that's like real talk. His dad's name was Richard Jones. He was a founding member of Evergreen College. And he was a psychologist who wrote a lot of books about dreaming. One of the concepts of Andras Jones's father, Richard Jones, was the idea that there are multiple interpretations for dreams. From Andras Jones, I have learned that movies are dreams. I'm just flat out stating it. You can get shocked all you want. You can deal with it. But this is the truth of what we are dealing with tonight. Movies are dreams. They are visual images. What's up? Oh my goodness, we are live tonight. Johnny, what's up? Zach, what's up? John, what's up? Tim, what's up? Hello, peoples. Cheers. So that being said, Andras Jones's probability of joining the conversation tonight, 95%. Aaron, A.A. Rom, my cuz, my primo, 100%. He's here. Andras Jones, 95%. Ashcon.
He's upstairs.
We'll say 75%. This is his studio. If he feels like he wants to question me, he can come down those stairs and he can question me. 75%. But there's also an individual who could join us tonight. His name is Amos Glick. Who the fuck is Amos? Amos Glick is the actor that plays Dennis the Mailman on WandaVision. And that's what we're here to explore, right? We're here to explore WandaVision. Now, if you are not jumping out of your goddamn school from hearing that information, then you need to get the fuck off of this live stream. Because that is exciting news. Because as somebody once told me earlier today, the mailman from from WandaVision is sus AF. Now, if you don't know what that means suspect as fuck. Now, we're going to treat this. We're going to treat this tonight. We're going to treat this like we are in an interrogation room. And we are going to go through evidence. You understand what I'm saying? We're going to figure out things logically. We're not going to make leaps of logic. We're going to stick to the facts. And so if we see Amos Glick, probability 65%. He's going to step into an interrogation room. You know why? Because he's a suspect. What is he a suspect for? Well, first, we have to get into some shit. In the business, we call this getting into some shit.
Going to the moon.
We're going to the moon tonight, brothers. All right, look.
Going to the moon.
Going to the moon. We're on the moon. In the first episode of WandaVision, we are experiencing a radio broadcast from the 1950s. The idea of Wanda's bubble. Well, shit.
Put on your headphones.
Well, shit.
The headphones.
I would say my probabilities are way fucking off. Because we are already experiencing technical difficulties. Hello, can you hear me, sir? I cannot hear him. Let's see, power
Well,
button.
he's muted. Now put it on. Put it on. Put it on. Put it on. He's talking.
I can hear you. Can you hear me? Well, no, I can absolutely hear you. I'm just a little dumbfounded. My probabilities of you joining tonight were about 65%, and all of a sudden you're on here before Andras Jones. I'm a little dumbfounded. I don't know what to do.
We can't hear him.
No, absolutely no apologize needed. It is I who need to apologize. However, I feel the need to operate in a legitimate posture, shall I say.
For what reason?
Because we are dealing with a murder mystery, sir.
I see.
And you, my friend, are suspect.
Uh-oh, here we go.
Yep, I think you might have expected this, and I think you might have jumped the gun in joining us. But if you give us a little time, we will make sure that your video comes up very soon. No, you're not leaving. I will not allow you to leave, sir.
I can come back.
You can come back. We will just ask you to stay for just a straight minute so we can get a few things clear.
Take your time.
Okay, awesome. It is true that your name is Amos Glick. Is that correct?
It's either Amos or Amos.
I think a lot of people would say Amos, but I do not think that that is correct. Is that Armenian?
It's Jewish, Hebrew, Old Testament.
Really? Well,
yeah.
Shit, sir.
Just depends where you're hanging, how you pronounce it.
Which side you're dressing on? Is that what you're saying?
I didn't say where your penis is hanging. I said where you are hanging.
That's how I read that. I have. All right, Amos Glick.
No, it's either Amos or Amos, like vamos.
Vamos?
Think of vamos without the V, or just plain old American Amos.
What is that thing hanging in the background?
This?
Yeah.
It's a mandolin.
You play mandolin?
Why, yes, I do. A little bit.
A little bit.
I ain't no pro.
You are a musician for all accounts, though. Is this correct?
Ish. I'm a musician adjacent. I am a professional hack.
The next natural question would be, what's your relation to Andras Jones?
Andras and I went to high school together, and in Massachusetts at a really great sort of bohemian private school called the Cambridge School of Weston, and became fast friends. And even a year later, started. I think it was our second year. Both our second years in school. Andras, correct me if I'm wrong, or is he not there yet?
He's not there yet, but that's fine.
Okay.
We're cool,
But,
because we might ditch out. We might pull you back a little bit. I see that you have your video camera on incognito, so we actually. You do?
We do.
So why?
Web browser on incognito. No, we can't bring.
What do you want me to do? Are we live?
You're good. You're good. You're good. Well, I will. Look.
Should I turn my video off?
check.
Okay, yeah, you're back.
Amos, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, I apologize for that little deadening of sound.
Unplug yourself.
What was the last thing you heard?
I don't remember. Oh, you thought I was in incognito mode. Are we live yet?
No, we are definitely live. So let's ignore all of that. Okay. We might ask you to ditch out for a second so we can regroup ourselves. But I want to ask you one specific question. Being an actor for as long as you have been, what was your experience working with WandaVision?
It was awesome. I mean, do you want details now or just the bullet
No,
points?
I want details specifically as far as being an individual who was dealing with a professional production.
I've done other TV and movies, but this was my first reoccurring role, even though it's teeny. And
well, I mean, you can say it's teeny, but really and truly, you are the first individual we see. And like I said,
that's true. I'm in the opening shot of the whole series. It's great. But there were so many. It was so interesting and surprising and joyful for so many reasons. I mean, think about it. Here I am, a middle-aged actor out of work in COVID, and I get my first audition in months. I think it was in August, and I hadn't done anything since, I think the last TV show I did was in November or December before that. And I hadn't had any auditions since then. And I do this thing, which was 3 separate little bits they had me do for the audition, vastly different and different styles. And I couldn't tell what the hell was going on from that. And none of it was text from the show. It was all just other stuff they used to get an idea. And then what I did was nothing like what the audition was, really. And I didn't know if I had any lines. I didn't know who I was going to be acting with. I didn't know anything. And it was a complete mystery from the get-go. And it unfolded as a mystery each day for a variety of reasons. One, we were all wearing masks, so I didn't even know, I couldn't tell who was who. So I didn't realize I was in a scene with Catherine Hahn until we took our masks off after rehearsal and the cameras were rolling, and I was freaking out because I love her. And got just so many great things like that. Like it wasn't clear to me how many days I was going to be on set until I kept getting called back at the end of each day. I had no idea. And it just kept rolling out like that. And it was 16 days on the set, and a bunch of
mysterious as hell.
Yeah, well, and the other half of the mysteriousness, the mysterious part of not recognizing people is because everybody's wearing masks, so you can't tell who's who. You can't tell if it's them or their stand-in or whatever. And then, of course, you sign an NDA when you work for Marvel or Disney or any of these big franchises, or even to audition, you sign an NDA. And then on this set, you didn't get any, or at least characters of my size did not get any script or sides until the morning of. And there was even my first day on set that I had lines. I had no idea I had lines. And they were like, oops, we forgot to give him his script. I mean, it was only 2 lines, so it didn't matter. But
Okay, hold on for just 1 second.
Yeah.
Andras Jones,
He's here.
You're calling me on the phone.
Yeah, because I haven't received I don't know how to log to. I haven't gotten an invite, and I do want to get in touch with Amos to.
I'm here.
I don't know if am I on the air? Are we?
You're
Yes,
kind
we
of
are.
on the air for sure. There is definitely a little bit of a foobar situation here at gmail.com. Okay. The Radio8Ball at gmail.com.
No, that's not it. And please don't say my email on your YouTube.
Okay, I apologize.
So just look for it and just say that's not that what you just said. It's good. That's not my email address. But don't say my email address on your YouTube channel, please.
Okay.
And
All right.
that out later. So, just it's in all of our emails.
Okay, so give me 1 second. We're going to go into some technical difficulty a mode here, and we'll get everything straight. So please, everybody, just please bear with us, and you know the image of please stand by. Bring that image up full screen, and then we will regroup, because as far as I can tell, the probabilities have changed. The old standby, like do the first one full screen, and then we will mute our visuals here, and then we will make sure that we're all congruent as far as no, because this is good. This is good. The old standby, old JPEG, right there. Boom. Yeah, put that up. Yeah. We're gonna go WandaVision old school. Totally take up the whole screen of an old school television standby, and make this a little bit of a comedy thing. So please excuse us, and we'll get our audio straight. Make sure the audio on me is completely off for a second. If you can like stream anything, that's cool too. Did you get an default? I am online. We can hear my voice. Can we find Amos? Can we find Andros? Amos. Can we find Amos? Can we find Andros? Andros. What the fuck? Okay, look, this is a complete shit show, but at the same time, it's completely cool. I'm so happy to see all of you guys here. Right now, my friend, my primo, is going to help us get back online. Until then, I'm going to show you what I suspect as far as WandaVision is concerned. We just got confirmation from Dennis the Mailman. He told us they had people wearing masks. They want no secrets coming from that set. That's obvious. There are layers upon layers of what's going on here. So let's get into it. In the first episode, it is a completely sterile environment. The only symbol that we get is this lobster right here. This lobster is from the moon card. Why is this lobster important? If you guys remember the last episode that aired, there was a commercial about Lagos. What is Lagos? Lagos is the city in which Wanda blew up Crossbones in the MCU. I know, it's nerdy. We're cool with it. In that commercial, the actress that plays that role is scrubbing up great globs of cranberry juice. Yeah, it's like Kool-Aid. It's like a very minstrel thing. It's like Macbeth. She's cleaning her hands of blood. What is Lagos? Lagos is the city that the Scarlet Witch blew up all of those people that started the Civil War. It's blood on her hands. It's symbolic symbolism. It's a dream symbolism. They're using dream symbolism. If you watch an episode of TV that has no symbols but a lobster in it, in dream symbolism, that lobster stands for the subconscious. Bottom line, no argument. Look it up.
Hey, Amos is talking.
What does that mean? Amos. Amos is in the chat, guys. That is Dennis the Mailman. If you have questions, ask him. In the second episode, Vision plays a magician. Rose bushes are the main topic of conversation through the entire episode. That means that our second card is the magician. Wanda's pregnant. Our third card is the Empress. She meets Monica Rambo, who's wearing a cross around her neck and the symbol of a sword. The High Priestess is our fourth episode. Why are tarot cards involved with Wanda? Wanda's symbol is designed after the High Priestess of the tarot cards. This is called a horn diadem. And a horn diadem is the symbol of the most powerful person that resides in the tarot deck, the High Empress. Boss lady. That's what Andras called her, the boss lady. These 3 episodes give you the clues to how to play the game. The 4th episode initiates the game. We have 4 episodes to understand the game. It's a game we have to play. I expected that the devil card was involved. Why did I expect the devil card was involved? Because I analyzed the entirety of the tarot deck's major arcana. What is the major arcana? The major arcana are the major players of the tarot deck. They are labeled 1 through 22. You can see the Roman numerals at the top. They tell a story. The whole point of the story is that if an individual shuffles the cards and he introduces those cards into his story, that they have something to do with his story. It's a story wheel. The first card is the moon card because of the lobster. The second card is the magician because Vision is a magician. It introduces a character. There's no character in the moon card. All the rest of them are characters. I believe that they are introducing a new character in every show. The first character is the magician. That is Vision. He's dead. What the fuck? That's why he's the magician. He's illusion. The second character is Wanda. We all know WandaVision. It's WandaVision. She is pregnant. She creates a family. The next character is Monica Rambo. She is the High Priestess. She's the most powerful, arguably, whatever. Miss Marvel, she's the second Miss Marvel. She's more powerful than Miss Marvel. She's complete and utter light. She is illumination. She tells us what's going on. That's why she's in the 4th episode. All of a sudden, we break the bubble, which is the symbol of the water around her that's in the moon card, blah, blah, blah. It's also in this card, blah, blah, blah. That is the symbol of what we're dealing with. We're dealing with the subconscious. I guess the devil is the next card. That's what I thought. because we were on a timetable. I did not understand that the devil was the fool. I am a fool. We are a fool. Wanda is a fool. The 5th episode is aesthetically symbolized by Full House. Everybody knows that it's Full House. It's not Full House, it is Full House. Elizabeth Olsen, the individual who plays Wanda. You should be working on setting up another meeting because that last one didn't work. If we have to stop the stream and stop it again, that's cool. We can do that at around midnight.
Don't stop it. Keep going.
No, I understand. I understand. I'm just planning ahead. I'm playing chess here, my friend. So, Full House. The aesthetics of each episode is designed. The first episode is I Love Lucy. If you didn't know that, it's almost exactly like a fucking episode of I Love Lucy. Ricky has his boss come over. Lucy forgets. She needs to fucking make a meal, but she doesn't know what to make. It's I Love Lucy. What would you say, Andros, what would you say the second episode is more? But it's Bewitched, right? I mean, it's a magician. She's magic. The second episode is
Bewitched, but it's also Dick Van Dyke Show.
It's also the Dick Van Dyke Show. Yeah, I mean, that's... And the evolution of TV, that's fucking accurate. You're right. You're right. You're right. Okay, so we got that one out of the way. The next episode is obviously what? What would you say? Brady Bunch? It's Brady Bunch, right?
Totally.
Totally. Which came before Full House. 1, 2, 3, 4. The fourth episode is Full House. The fourth episode is... No, wait, that's not right. The fourth episode is not even in TV because it's totally outside of the bubble. The fourth episode is The High Priestess. The fifth episode is Full House. The fifth episode is Full House. Why is that meta? That's meta because Full House, the original storyline is Bob Saget is a single parent. His siblings, Uncle Jesse, Uncle Joey, right? They show up, one wearing a leather jacket, so forth and so on. Do we have that clip?
What?
The clip from the beginning of Full House?
Oh.
So that's what the story is. The twins are the Olsen twins, right? Elizabeth is the younger sister of the Olsen twins. It's meta. She's basically in another universe. If you will pretend that every movie, every TV show, anything that anybody puts on TV is like another universe, but somehow they're connected because the same person is playing the role. If you consider that idea, then Elizabeth Olsen is raising the male symbol of her sisters in the exact... Do you get it? Of course you get it. It's obvious.
Hey, look alive!
It's not only Full House. It's also Family Ties. The opening intro with the pictures and the WandaVision painting the picture, that's Full House. I mean, that's Family Ties. That's the 80s archetypical TV show of a family in the 80s, right before Full House, was Family Ties, where they paint the picture of the family.
Hey, look alive!
Boom.
Uncle Jesse's here!
You got it. Boom. There it is.
All right.
So it's Family Ties mixed
DJ,
with
how you doing?
Full
That tooth come in yet?
House.
It's okay, one less to brush.
I have a couple of things marked
Hey,
around
Jano,
here that
Miss
you might
Brett.
see.
You ready? You want me to turn it on or?
Fucking yeah, turn it on. Just play it. That's cool. Opening running in the opening Full House. Yeah, that's the candlestick.
Hey, look alive! Uncle Jesse's here!
Like it has been updated. Like the house has been updated.
Hello!
Yeah, there it is.
DJ,
He
how you
comes
doing?
in.
That tooth
He's
come in
wearing a
yet?
leather jacket
Okay,
and
one less
boots.
to brush.
That's just like
Jano, you miss Breck?
it's just like Quicksilver, right? This all of a sudden, you have this house full of kids.
Who's the popsicle?
Yeah, who's the popsicle?
Yeah.
Who's the popsicle? That's what he says. That's like he comes in, he's wearing a guitar, he's got all this stuff, he's styling.
Hey, look alive!
I mean, that's what Quicksilver
Jesse's
is. He
here.
listens to the Fox. We're dealing with two different Quicksilvers.
DJ, how you doing? That tooth come in yet?
Nah.
It's okay, one less to brush.
We're dealing with the Quicksilver from the MCU,
Hello.
and we're dealing with the Quicksilver from the Fox universe. But the Quicksilver from the Fox universe listens to Pink Floyd and runs around real fast. He's like John Stamos from Full House. He shows up when the kids have been born. You ever notice that in a TV show? In a TV show, the kids are never the same age. There's only one. There's only one TV show that does it linear, and that's Mad Men. Can we bring up the, I think it's the Wiener logo. It should be in the folder.
Okay.
Wiener Brothers logo. Matthew Weiner is the guy who wrote The Sopranos. He also wrote Mad Men.
Which folder?
Keep going down.
This one?
I don't know. I mean, I think we did it tonight. You can look it up. I mean, I can do it like this. I can do it on the phone. I can go Wiener logo. Can you get them? Can you send them again? I mean, if we have to stop this shit, I'm cool with it.
No, we don't have to stop the stream.
Wiener logo, Wiener Brothers logo, Wiener Brothers logo. You know what the Wiener Brothers logo is? No, not the Warner Brothers. We want the Wiener Brothers. Wiener. Mad Men. We'll just say Mad Men. You know what it is? I have it. I have it on me. There it is, right there.
So I sent another.
All right. Yeah. Can they see that?
No.
Show. Yeah.
No. Don't say it.
I won't. Hit that. Yeah. Send that. All right. Right there. You know what the Wiener Brothers logo? It says Wiener Brothers down there. The Wiener Brothers logo is the sun card from the tarot deck. You guys think I'm an obsessive, compulsive asshole. No, other people, other storytellers use the tarot deck. In fact, there has been extensive research on the role of the tarot deck by other individuals that are smarter than my dumbass, by the Wiener Brothers. The actress who plays Monica Rambo. See, we're going to do this shit legit. And when we get Amos? Andros? Amos.
You know what? I'm gonna be. You just be Marlon Brando, and I'll give you your lines through a little earpiece.
Fucking A.
Yeah.
Fucking, I would love that.
Yeah, I'll just be your writer. So. Actually, I'm just gonna be your editor. You're doing great, except when you say episode. Now you're just laughing at something. You shouldn't laugh at the headphone that was saying headphones are saying to you.
Well, I laugh when it's funny. I'll do what I want. Fuck. All right. So, Monica Rambo, the individual who plays Monica Rambo, what's her name? Actress. We'll just say actress. Actress. Her name is Teyonah Parris. Tiana Parris. She played the secretary that Don Draper had when they initiated what's it called? It was really popular during the 80s when they, affirmative action. Is that it?
Affirmative action happened in like the late 90s, early 2000s.
Is it affirmative action? Individuals belonging to groups are known to have been discriminated against previously.
Yeah, yeah.
So I mean, in the episode, that's what they do, right? They say that we need more black individuals working for us. That's what happens in the episode in the 60s. Now, the thing that is interesting about Mad Men, guys, is Mad Men was the first show that was done basically chronologically. So where the children that were in the show aged according to what was happening in the show. This is a common thing that happens in TV shows. They'll have a baby, and then the next season, the kid's like 5 years old. That's why Wanda's kids age so quickly.
Well, that and they were getting through grief. They were fast tracking through
Right. They were fast tracking through
grief and suffering.
Yeah, painful development.
Yeah. Because she stopped them
Right.
in the last episode when
Right.
they were about to age themselves again because the dog died.
Right, but that's exactly what she's doing. It's an evolution ploy. So will you bring up the folder real quick? There's something that people don't understand. A lot of individuals have noted how the evolution plays a role in WandaVision. They've actually cited the fact that Vision reads, that one. Vision reads the descent of man to his children as a bedtime story. Yeah, that one. So yeah, what people don't realize is a lot of people have made connections as far as what that has to do with the storytelling, but what we are doing here is going meta. We are like every other Easter egg show, only meta. And what you have to understand is that it goes beyond just the source material. It goes to what the individuals themselves are playing. And the actor that plays Vision also plays Charles Darwin in the movie Creation that was filmed in 2010. I like how you put it over your face and then put the thumbs up. That's fucking class. That's classy as fuck. So, Creation, Paul Bettany, with his wife, Jennifer Connelly, plays Darwin. And then later, in WandaVision, he reads Darwin to his kids. But there's even another level of meta-ness to that picture of creation. Because if you bring up the picture that's also initiated with the Sistine Chapel, the first one in the folder, right there, you can tell that the picture of creation was basically the same picture as Adam and God on the Sistine Chapel. So it's a direct relationship between religious connotation and evolution connotation. Do you see? They're doing it intentionally. They're showing you symbolism to relay a message. The whole thing. And other people do it too. If you bring up the picture for what most people understand as E.T., which is a Steven Spielberg movie from the 80s, the same time period that we're fucking around. he uses the same symbolism. But we're not dealing with religious terms. We're dealing with whatever. You get it? It's subliminal. It's subliminal messaging. We know that they're using it. We know that they used it with the commercial of Logos. Why wouldn't they? Why wouldn't they? This is the symbol of the unconscious. The lobster. It's the symbol of the unconscious. Why wouldn't they know what the hell they were dealing with? They know. They know Paul Bettany played Darwin. They know that it makes sense. Every movie that you're going to see past 2021, if it involves comic books in general, it's going to be using the idea of the multiverse. What is the multiverse? The multiverse is the total idea that all movies are in their own universe. We all know this. We operate on this system. This is the system that we operate on. The first movie that George Lucas, who created Star Wars, made was THX-1138. Andros, have you ever seen that movie? I haven't. I'll be honest with you. I have seen his second movie. His second movie was called American Graffiti. And in that, the main character's license plate says THX-1138. Star Wars is an Easter egg hive. Marvel is an Easter egg hive. What you need to do is you need to bend your mind into the idea that all movies are part of the same multiverse. Quicksilver, although he jumped from the Fox universe into the MCU, he's part of the same multiverse. Paul Bettany, who plays Darwin and also plays Vision, is the same character in different multiverses. Do you get it?
Get what?
It. The it.
No.
This is the it. The glitch in the Matrix. That's brilliant. He's really, the messenger. That is a direct reference to Mercury. The messenger god is Mercury. Mailmen are Mercury. The wings.
Amos is back.
Wait, Amos is back?
Yeah.
I'm just happy to have you back, sir. And this is perfect timing, too. Have you been listening to what's been going on? Can you hear me? He can't hear me.
Can he?
I'm not sure.
I'm back. And Andros is here too, right?
We're trying to turn all the sounds on. Let's see. Check, checkity, check, check to check. Check, check, checkity, check, check to check. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? He can't hear me.
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
I'm not sure. Oh, that's lagged. We're trying to turn all the sounds on. Let's see. Check, checkity, check, check to check. Check, check, checkity, check, check to check. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Can you hear me? He can't hear me.
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
I'm not sure. Oh,
Everyone can
that's
hear.
lagged. We're trying to turn all the sounds on. Let's see. Check, checkity, check, check to check.
Check, check, checkity, check, 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 check. Can you hear me? I can hear you. Can you hear me? He can't hear me. I can hear
This is ridiculous.
It's cycling upon itself.
All this is annoying. Can you put something up on video? Because I just posted.
We're trying to turn all the sounds on. Let's see.
This is. I hear you, Andros.
Check, checkity, check, 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 check. Can you hear me? I can hear you. Can you hear me? He can't hear me.
This is. I feel like we're in a rerun of WandaVision. I'm
It's
completely.
cycling upon itself. We're trying to turn all the sounds on. Let's see.
All right. I hear you, Andros.
Why does it keep repeating?
I have no idea. I have no idea what's going on. I have no idea. Oh, here, hold on. Rerun of WandaVision.
It's cycling upon itself.
All right. He's like, dude, this is complete confabulation. Dude, it's just cycling. Testing.
That's not us.
Can you hear us? You can't hear us now. No one can hear us.
Yes, they can't.
Well, I guess the feed can hear us, but he can't hear us.
Who's he?
Mr. Glitch.
Oh.
The glitch in the Matrix. He's on mute, I think. Andros is not part.
Can you hear us? I'm back now.
Can you hear us in real time?
No one can hear us. I guess I can't hear you in real time.
I guess the feed can hear us, but he can't hear us.
Who's he?
Mr. Glitch.
I am watching the
The
YouTube
glitch
channel
in the
and
Matrix.
I
He's
hear
on
it.
mute, I think.
So we
Andros-
have to get the feed from the YouTube channel off
I'm
because
back
it's lagged.
Can you hear
We
us?
need to be in real time and not
I
on
guess I
YouTube
can't
time.
hear you in real
I
time.
guess the feed
You understand?
can hear us, but he can't hear us.
I'm hearing two things
I
at
don't know what to
once.
do, man.
Mr. Glitch.
Why don't I am watching
He's
the
hearing two things at once.
He's
He's hearing the lag of
So Andrew,
YouTube.
from
So
the YouTube
turn your
channel.
volume off, sir.
Can you hear
On
us?
YouTube. Turn YouTube volume off.
YouTube is off.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yep.
Okay, well, I think that we might be playing with a full deck now. Make his picture bigger, and we'll talk.
I think my sound is still behind the feed though.
Okay, that's fine. I mean, we'll just do the typical idea of waiting a few seconds before we answer each other. The radio play. Which brings up an interesting thing. What I said earlier is that we want to investigate you. All right? And I have a few notes that I've taken about you that I would like you to either confirm or deny. One of those is that you were born in Austin, Texas. Is this true?
That is correct.
Interesting. Now, how the hell do you know Andros?
I went to high school with him.
Where?
At the Cambridge School of Weston, a small artsy private school in suburban Massachusetts, about 15 minutes outside of Boston.
And you guys have been friends ever since then?
Absolutely. I mean, you know, like all friends of that amount of time, we've either faded or lost touch, but we always come back. He was impactful in my life. I think I was for him as well. It's kind of hard to get rid of. I think we're stuck with each other.
He was impactful in your life. How, though?
Well, we were in our first band together called Three Clean Boys. We were all like 15, 16 years old. None of us had done any drugs or gotten majorly drunk or had sex at that point. And we but we loved rock and roll. So we formed a little folk rock band called Three Clean Boys. Me and the two of us and our buddy Peter D'Elia, another kid from the school.
What kind of music did you guys play?
Well, I was really into the Violent Femmes at the time, so my songs kind of had a whiny angst about them. Our friend Peter, his songs were just weird, kind of David Byrnean explorations, and so his songs kind of all sounded like Psycho Killer, kind of. And Andras probably had a more refined palette. Well, I don't know. I mean, Peter's was pretty refined, but Andras was into, who was he? He was into Elvis Costello, The Who, and Springsteen, and Van Morrison.
Is into everyone.
Yeah, but those were his big, and Paul Simon. Those were like, I think,
Paul
I'm not
Simon.
missing anybody. Those are the 5 big ones for him at that time. I'm sure it changed or maybe was even different, you know,
Well,
a month
can
later.
still, I mean, even in the music he creates now, you can hear those influences.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. But so he had more, I think, you know, my song, you know, mine and Peter's songs had a tone of clown comedy to them. His may have had irony in them or satire, but they were more, I'm sure he would think they weren't very well developed because he's got such much experience now, but they were more like a classic rock song, I guess I'd say, than what I was writing at the time.
You said clown. I know from research that you worked for the San Francisco Mime Troupe.
That's correct.
They were associated with Peter Coyote, is that right? And Bill Graham, the promoter, if I remember.
I would say those guys were associated with the Mime Troupe.
but you weren't. But
yes, no. I at the time that they were involved, they were peons in the organization of the Mime Troupe. They were influential. Bill Graham was the manager of the Mime Troupe. And then, you know, because it was a political company and people were getting arrested for what they were doing, they had to stage these benefits, which they did by getting a bunch of the local rock bands at the time in the late 60s to do benefits. And he was like, wow, look at all these kids paying all this money and filling up the place. And he became a rock promoter. But the first big concerts he produced were benefits for the Mime Troupe. And Peter Coyote was probably a little before that. I think he was more late 60s, like 65 to 67. I can't remember exactly when. And I think Peter Coyote was a little earlier than that.
But Peter Coyote is not a mime. I mean, you're not necessarily a mime troupe. That's like maybe an analogy.
I mean, in modern American parlance, what you're talking about, silent theater, is called mime, but it's mostly referred to as pantomime. What the Mime Troupe did back in the day, that was certainly the distinction. And the word meme, actually, it used to be the San Francisco Meme
Troupe. It's like
Troupe.
a Latin fucking phrase, right? Like meme
well,
and mime are very related.
It comes from the Greek word mimos, closer relating to the word mimic than silent theater.
You're fucking genius. Great.
I know I was in a stupid company called the Mime Troupe for 20 years and I had to learn how to talk about it. But the textbook definition is to tell a story in gesture and song. So old Roman comedies were mime, or a theater was mime, and
I got questions. Wait, I have to interrupt you. This is an interrogation, sir. So you understand. We are looking for evidence. Because you mentioned the word clown, but
I was a clown. I am also a clown. I've been Le Rêve.
Le Rêve.
Le Rêve. It's a French word.
Say it correctly, please.
Le Rêve. Le Rêve.
And the Wynn? Is that correct? In Las Vegas?
The Wynn Casino.
How long? I've got 300 or 3,500 shows. Is that correct?
Yeah. More than that. Like, I think it was 3,551, but that equivalates to...
That's for goddamn ridiculous.
9 years. Yeah. It was the golden handcuff job. I couldn't leave. I could, but I mean, I did leave of my own accord at one point, but it was it was like being on Broadway, so it was kind of hard to get out of Dodge.
I have written down. I mean, the mimes and clowns are both like the show of emotion through like physical exaggeration.
Sure.
Is there a difference?
Between mimes and clowns?
Would you consider yourself a mime or a clown?
I'm not really trained as a mime. I'm barely trained as a clown. Go more on instinct.
You did 3,000 shows as a clown. How can you say you barely...
Well, I'm a hack. I told you I'm a professional hack. I have just enough skill to get the job done, and the rest of it's off of instinct and making it up as I go.
That's pretty strong instinct.
I would say, there's a lot of, it depends on the mime practitioner and the clown. There are a lot of clowns who employ mime. There are some mimes who behave like clowns, but clowns are more they're more with the audience usually and interacting with the audience as much as the shtick they're doing on stage and whoever their scene partners are. Whereas typically a mime is doing a presentation for you to enjoy. And though they may break the fourth wall, they're not really going to engage and have a relationship in the same way that a clown might, although some do. And there's a gray line between them, like you can cross over into each. But there's lots of clowns who talk, for example.
Do you think that was understood by the individuals of WandaVision? Because you basically play that role, right? You break the fourth wall. There's multiple times where they mention like Dennis. Okay, so far I can recall 3 occurrences where Dennis the mailman shows up in WandaVision. One is the very first scene. That's like the first person they see. Second is where Agnes goes, "Oh, you're the messenger, pew, pew, pew," which seems like a really loaded thing to say. And then the third one is where you showed up in the, what I call the FOOL house, the Fool House episode, where you basically make the mention of Wanda being capable of finding the dog.
Right.
All of those, you relay, it's amazing because you relay so much information that you realize that you're a suspect, sir. Like,
I know. Dude, I've looked at a lot of posts and a lot of, Easter egg reveals or whatever, and it's amazing what people speculate and think.
No, I think that's the whole purpose. I mean, they even had you in a mask. I think that's funny. To me, it's funny. I mean, we're like, they had you in mask. They made sure they compartmentalized this shit, man.
What do you mean they had me in a mask? They had me in a mask for COVID during the rehearsal.
Okay, all right, perhaps.
When you say mask,
how much did you know when you were showing up to the site?
0.
Exactly. That's my point.
That's the mask. Yes.
I'm sorry. I use words very vaguely. Please forgive me. I try to have two different learning.
I told you that because of COVID, during the rehearsals, we were wearing masks.
Yes.
For health.
Yes.
And so I didn't realize that I was even doing a scene with Catherine Hahn.
Mm.
I knew her name was on the call sheet, but I had no idea what scene I was in because I hadn't been given sides yet. And then when we took our masks off, then I saw it was her. So I referred to masks talking to you earlier. That's what I thought you were talking about.
I mean, like I said, I kind of vague. I'm a hack. I blur lines.
No. The grand mask was, yes, that I was completely in the dark about what I was doing until I was doing it, pretty much.
I love Catherine Hahn. What was it like working with all of these individuals?
Let me tell you, man, Catherine Hahn, I loved her. She is an actor who I've been clocking for a few years. I'll see her and I didn't know who she was the first couple times I saw her, and I loved what she did, both dramatically and comedically. She has a series on HBO called Mrs. Fletcher, plus she did a run on Parks and Rec, and she was in like Step Brothers and a bunch of stuff, big and small. And she's always awesome. She brings it every time. And then she was the sweetest, most awesome, coolest person you can imagine. It was awesome.
I don't know. I'm feeling jealousy.
Me? Jealous?
No,
Of
I'm
her?
saying I'm jealous. I'm
Oh,
jealous.
yeah, you should be. She went out of her way. I'm telling you, she's a magnanimous person and actor. She went out of her way to include me, to make me feel comfortable on set, and to try to generate some sort of fun, playful vibe between us, even though it was just a line or two, you know?
Oh no, but it's felt. There's like chemistry. She's like all checking you out and shit. Like there's some good shit there. Like I mean, I think that's important. I like that the most. To me, I want to know what actors experience. Like I mean all of this Easter egg shit and whatever the writers and directors, that's not as important to me as what makes good chemistry like on a set. Like I would have loved to see that. I would have loved to see like everything that worked up just to those small little lines that you did. And like I said, I think that they scoped you out. I mean, you also did work for Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., is that correct?
Yes. Same casting office, but I'm not sure that the casting director clocked that I had done it was probably on my resume, but I mean, the same person who advocated for me to get the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. was not working on this project, even though she works with the same casting director often. So it could be that they knew that woman was acutely aware of who I was, or it could be that she just, I auditioned and she liked that audition. I really don't know.
Serendipity, perhaps? No,
there's a lot of serendipity that leads up to the fact that I connected with that first casting director who cast me in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Like that whole story is beyond wild, and really talk about synchronicity and weirdness like that. Like
I'm checking my clock. I think we have time.
You want to hear it? I mean, so
yeah.
The real short story is in 2015, I made a short film called A Man Wakes Up.
Well, that was on my notes. So, I mean, definitely we were heading in the right direction. We'll talk about that in more detail for sure, but go ahead.
Yeah. And so I took that to festivals, and at a festival before I moved to LA, I was in a festival, Dances with Films. I think that's where I met them. I'm almost positive it was that. Yeah, it was that festival, which is an LA festival, but I was still living in Las Vegas at the time. And I met these two women who were buddies, and they loved my film and they were very complimentary. And I'm pretty sure at that time we exchanged it. At film festivals, you're always trading business cards and getting people's numbers and Facebook accounts and stuff. And so we were in touch. And when I moved to LA, not like a year later, I was in touch with her. And then I can't remember what year this was now, maybe as late as 2017 now, maybe 2018. She and her buddy were producing a movie, and they put out a call for people to help out, to be PAs and stuff like that. So I said, hey, I'll help you out. You're awesome. And so I was the assistant to the art director. And it turned out that one of my old friends from San Francisco was a lead in this film. This is a film called Zero Fucks.
Zero Fucks. I know. I saw that one. I have never seen it, but I definitely saw that word.
It's just going out to festivals now. And John Piricello, my old improv buddy from the Bay Area, is the lead in it. He plays a life-size cat named Donald Trump.
Shut up, dude! Come on.
Yeah. It's kind of like a Red Dwarf type treatment of people in costumes, if you've seen that show. and it's a weird kind of post-apocalyptic thing. Anyways, I'm diverting. Anyways, the director is married to this casting director who does a lot of Marvel stuff out of this office, this casting office. She's an independent film director, but film casting director, but she works out of a casting office that has other casting people in it as well. And they combine forces sometimes and not. And so part of the deal of producing this film is that if they wanted to get their partners on the film, like I became a producing partner, and they wanted producing partners to try to raise a certain amount of money. And if you raised that amount of money, there were certain perks you could get. And one of the perks was a half-hour meeting with the director's wife, who's a casting director in Hollywood, doing huge projects. So I reached the threshold, and I had a meeting with her, and that was it. And then, several months later, I get this call. Until I walked in the room, because her name wasn't on the ticket, I didn't realize that it was even her. And then I come in the room, and there she was, and that's the one I booked for Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. So that's pretty kismet. I mean, that's
Kismet.
it's a through line.
Wait. Kismet is okay. So that is a Jewish term, if I'm not. And would you explain what that term means, please? Not everybody knows what that term means.
Kismet is like, sort of it's synchronistic.
Probability. It's synchronicity. Nice.
I believe so. I'm not looking it up. It's just it's a word.
Let's do that. Let's look.
You look it up. You're the
Yeah. That's what my job is. Okay. What chance did I stand against Kismet? Is what first comes up. I mean, it's like fucking chance. It's chance, right? Kismet is chance. It's destiny. It's like it's in the cards.
Okay.
It's in the cards, right? I mean. Okay. All right.
So that's that story.
So are you Mephisto?
In real life or in the show?
In the show. And in real life, but the show first. We'll deal with the show first. We'll go meta.
I will tell you, you can ask me questions like about anything I did, but I'm not going to tell you anything about what weight my character may or may not have. Because what's the point of me doing that? You guys are having so much fun busting your balls trying to figure it out. How can I do that to the fans?
I'm dead. Okay, good. It couldn't be. There's no argument. I can't argue.
Plus, Disney and Marvel would kill me.
As we've seen. Okay. I'm throwing some tripwires for you. I'm throwing laser beams that you may have to operate around.
I'll be careful.
There was definitely a firing in the realm of Disney today. Are you aware of this?
Oh, yeah. Big time.
How are you feeling about this?
I actually brought it up to my housemate because in relationship to that, it's just so funny. Like, everybody keeps telling me not to minimize the role that I played. All my friends like, no, there's no small parts. There's only small actors. But you're in, you're in this Marvel thing. Blah, blah. And I'm like, yeah, but I have a line or two here and there. Still, for the role that I have to like literally the day after or hours after the premiere, there was a fan site on some Marvel Universe fan site with all of my personal social media links. Boom. Right there. Anybody can see everything. So what if I had posted something weird on Facebook, in my because who am I? I'm nobody. I've done a few commercials and made some appearances, had one liner here and there on a TV show or a movie, And so that was sobering to think that, like, I just, when you live in Hollywood, you got to have a certain perspective about how you handle yourself. And
Well, I mean, I understand
but
that. When like in my job, I have to be careful what I say to customers, right?
yeah. So it's like that, but it's like for you to have that sort of awareness, not in just in terms of like the building that you work in, but in terms of like the whole world, that all of your Facebook page and everything is boom split. How many people are going to that page? Probably not that many, but way more than were visiting my Facebook page probably. And but then beyond that, just the firing in general, like, it's the whole cancel culture thing, which, that's an interesting question, because when someone I like is canceled, when someone's on my side and they get canceled for doing something and I go, well, it wasn't that bad, I'm pissed off. I happen to think that the things that she did and said are abhorrent. So I'm like, whatever, it doesn't really bother me that much. But those are the two angles
Okay.
that I'm on.
So I have a habit of shifting gears rather quickly.
I'm here, man.
So let's talk about a man wakes up.
Woohoo!
Is this a silent film?
It is a film with no dialogue. It's not silent. So there's no word spoken ever in the film. 15 minutes. It's a comedy with a sort of bearing in reality, but definitely a heightened sense of reality.
So would you say that you play a mime or a clown in this movie?
It's a clown. And I kind of play the straight man clown. I mean, and my scene partner plays more of the quintessential goofy idiot clown. But essentially, if you want to know about it, it's about a guy who has a very regimented routine, and he wakes up one day, and that's established very clearly in the film. He's very type A. And then he wakes up one morning and there's a naked stranger in his bed, a man.
You
and he
wrote
freaks
this?
out. Yeah, I wrote it. And he spends the rest of the film dealing with that, and then also how he feels about it, about this disruption to his life and how he's approaching it. And he's changed by it.
Metamorphosis by Kafka.
I don't know. I mean, I've read Kafka, but I don't remember.
Metamorphosis is the story of a gentleman who wakes up one morning and finds himself a cockroach.
That's right. No, I know, but I don't, without thinking
I say
about
it because have you ever seen Nightmare on Elm Street Part 4, The Dream Master?
Oh, I wonder if I have. Actually, I saw it tripping on acid.
Shut the... Come on! Stories!
I'm pretty sure I did. What year was that released?
Nightmare on Elm Street Part 4. Let's see. Kismet. Nightmare... so appropriate. Nightmare on Elm Street 4. There we go.
I'm going to say...
The Dream Master came out in 1988, starring Andras motherfucking Jones.
Right. So I was on break from college, and I was visiting a friend in D.C., and we took some acid and did a bunch of stuff. And when we were coming down from it, we went to and saw Andras. So it was awesome. I don't remember what I felt about it being on acid. No. I mean, I don't remember specifically. Look, my brain is fried, not just from the acid, but being old. But it was. I know that it was really fun to see, and I saw it with some college friends. But I do know that I was coming down from an acid trip, so I'm sure it was especially interesting. I remember there was some pretty trippy.
Well,
visuals.
Kafka. Well, the story of Kafka is a guy wakes up one morning and he's a fucking
No, I know
cockroach.
that story.
Right. But I mean, it's like, people get mad at me because I draw correlations, but basically, I'm like, I'm like, I'm a dude who like does comparative religion, but I expand that out to everything. It doesn't matter if it's movies or whatnot. We're putting all of those on the table. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I love it.
So if you have an individual who wakes up one morning and he's fucking like trying to contemplate why the fuck he's a cockroach, and you have another guy who's waking up the next morning and he's like, there's been a total transformation in what I was, what my status quo was before, and yet now, I mean, this even has to do with WandaVision to a certain extent, because she wakes up and she's like in a totally different universe. Do you get what I'm saying?
Absolutely. Yeah, and she's not quite sure, obviously, at the start of the series, I don't think, it's pretty clear that her and Vision don't really know how they got there and why they're there.
Right.
And
they're okay with that.
It's like they forget about it. It's so unclear. But
I have to live with this now. It's like waking up and finding another person in your bed. You're like, okay, we're doing this now, Well,
yeah, he tries to boot the guy out of the house, and he locks the door even, and like seconds later, the guy's right back. And so he's like, what the fuck? And then he just kind of gives up and starts dealing with it. And then things get kind of funny and weird in a good way, in a friendly way.
Wow, you and Andros. So Andros is a really weird character, man. Have you seen a lot of his movies before?
Yeah, I've seen a bunch of stuff, and I've listened to a lot of his music and seen him perform many times. I'm quite aware of his.
Have you ever heard? Have you ever heard of a movie he did called Avril's Arrival?
No. Wait. Is that the German one?
Yeah, absolutely. In Vienna, it was filmed.
Well, actually, I remember he and I talked about this. He sent me the link a couple weeks ago, and I just clicked on it to see how the quality was and stuff, but I have not watched it yet, and I'm wanting to.
Oh. You might want to.
I will at some point, but I haven't seen it yet. But I remember the time period when he was in Vienna.
Okay, so can we get Andros back here? Is it possible to get Andros?
I'll invite him again.
Yeah, let's see if we can invite him again. Andros, you are welcome to join the call. If you do not or are unable to join the call, you are welcome to give me a phone call, and we will hold that up to the microphone. However, if you are just joining us, look, Amos, is that correct?
Yes. Yeah, you're doing it great. Thank you for making the adjustment.
Amos Glick, a glitch in the Matrix. Our friend here who plays Dennis the Mailman on WandaVision is joining us tonight, and also his good friend Andros Jones. We have waiting in the wings, and hopefully he will join us. He's joined us for the last, I think this is our fourth. Is this our third? This is our third live stream. And we are getting ready. We're about. Do you mind? I mean, usually we watch WandaVision. We turn off the sound. We may edit it later to cut out the part where everything is not going on. But you are welcome to watch WandaVision with us as we watch it.
Well, I have a standing sort of date with my housemate to watch it. I'll check in with him when it gets closer to the time.
No, that's completely okay as well. I mean, like I said, we're completely like.
I'll come back afterwards.
Oh, absolutely. That's perfect.
But quickly, can I ask two things?
Yes, sir. Please.
One, I think my housemate started humming the Growing Pains theme during the Full House episode, and it matched up pretty amazingly. So I think Growing Pains is also referenced. I don't know if that means anything, but I just want to put that out there. And then, are you calling me because my last name is Glick and we were having technical problems? Are you calling me the glitch?
Yes.
Is that what was happening? I love it.
Yes,
Call me the Glick.
absolutely. You are the Glick glitch in the Matrix.
I
Absolutely.
love it.
And I mean, that's like true too to like your character status as well, because your character fucking specifically says, you know, oh, that he references like he's the messenger. He's telling us things aren't exactly what they seem, if you would. Mercury. Yes, absolutely. Andros Jones has joined us by telephone.
I'm on the phone. I was on the phone. I can't, you know, you guys are doing a great job. Focus on Amos. He's
I'm very
doing great.
pleased that we have Amos here tonight. Amos, I mean, I appreciate your company as well. I appreciate I have two men in the van per se. I have Andros on the phone. I have A Ron up in the house as well. He's my man in the van, making sure everything runs smoothly. Although everything hasn't completely run smoothly, I appreciate all of you who have stuck with us this entire time. It has been very much appreciative. Almost, I have to ask what you expect out of WandaVision here.
First, I want to apologize for contributing to the technical malaise. I thought I was only hearing one sound stream come out of my computer setup. It turns out it was me causing the problem. So I'm glad we fixed it. But what do I expect out of WandaVision? I have been delightfully surprised. The first surprise to me was the slow burn of how deep they stayed in sitcom world without really cracking much of a veneer in the first two episodes. I thought it was risky, and I thought it really paid off well. But I was loving that. I mean, and then, you know, I just love that they're doing basically, it's like these guys are telling a story in a way they want to. They've got a concept, and I completely trust them. I'm not saying that just because they paid me, but the two episodes, like fully in it, and then you break out of it and go to a completely different universe for a while, and you barely see the main characters, and then you come back with a different sort of broken veneer in the fourth. I just think it's genius, and I love it. Where's it going? I have no idea. I didn't know when I was on set, and I mean, I know that they're going to be confronting certain issues, but that's not for me to talk about, because you guys are better at that and actually know more about the show than I do, because I don't pay attention in the same way that Uber fans do. But I'm thoroughly enjoying it, and I expect it to be surprising and entertaining every step of the way, and genre bending.
It is definitely that. I mean,
Yeah.
It's decade bending. I mean, it's an evolution of film. I've said this earlier tonight.
A lot of ways to think about it.
Huh?
There's a lot of ways to think about it.
Oh, absolutely. That's what's so great about it, right? It leaves so much up. I mean, you can go in any direction. You can say that they are paying high respect to the comic character. You can say that they are paying high respect to movie making. You can say they are paying high respect to like television, because that's not the same as movie. You know what I'm saying? Like they are actually paying attention to the fact that they are trying to make movie quality into TV, so they adapted it to the evolution of TV. It's genius. It's well done.
Yeah.
But I also want to admit that, like, your role, however slight it may or may not be, neither confirming nor denying, it is well played.
Oh,
like,
thank you.
You are well cast, sir.
Thank you. Well, I
Played
got to
it.
imagine. I mean, it's Hollywood. I got to imagine it was competitive. I mean, like I said, it came out of nowhere. I had this weird audition where I had these 3 bigger size sides than reflected what I actually say. So I was like, what is going on here? And then I got hired. Oh, you're going to be on this day. You might be called again. Then I go to my fitting and I'm being fitted for, I can't even tell you how many costumes of different decades. And they won't tell me anything.
Really?
And I was like, I have no idea what's happening here. In fact, when I first got to the fitting, they thought I was an extra. They couldn't find me on the sheet. The whole thing was just like, what is going on here? And then it slowly unfolded. It's like, oh yeah, you're in all these scenes and we can't tell you anything about it. We can't tell you which decade is which and what it really means. The first day I had lines, I had already said my lines, and then I was walking by the director and he goes, so you know what's going on here, right? And I'm like, no, I have no idea. He goes, oh, I'm so sorry. Let me give you a little background. And he gave me this, like, seriously, like a 1 or 2 sentence description of what was going on without being very specific at all. And that what he told me is already pretty much evident in what you've seen on the TV show. So, but I'm not going to say exactly what he said, but what I'm trying to say is I don't know much more than that. So,
well, I mean, the ability for you to like absorb that amount of information and relay what the information that we got. I mean,
well, yeah,
I'm convinced you're not
credit.
Mephisto, but I'll admit that you fucking did a good job. I mean, there's a lot of people who think that you're suspect, and then you have to absorb that compliment. You understand what I'm saying? You have to take that.
I'll take it, but it's also the writing. It's also the tone of the scene and the way they edit it. Which take they choose is,
how many takes were you guys shooting ratio wise?
Oh my, it really depended. But I mean, it's like, first of all, you don't do just, you say the line many, many, many times because you shoot for each actor's close up and then you do each direction. So even though it's a 2-line exchange, you may do that. You may be there for 4 hours doing that thing, 2 hours, 3 hours.
Okay, well, we're getting really close to time. I think we're just going to cut off right now.
Do you guys comment during it or no?
Well, no, not really. I mean, on the stream.
I'll jump back on afterwards.
Yeah, perfect. We're actually going to cut ties with you. We might even like dump the fucking feed. I'm not sure what we're going to plan on doing. However, I want to mention what's going on in the chat room right now because it's hilarious. So in the chat room right now, we get well played, Mephisto, ha ha ha, and totally a thing Mephisto would say.
Exactly. I didn't say I was or wasn't. I said I'm not going to tell you, and then I didn't know what I was doing until they told me that day. That's all I've said so far. I never said yes or no.
Well played, sir.
And I'm committing to that. That's exactly what I mean. Yes and no, and I don't know, and maybe I do.
Well, Mr. Glitch in the Matrix. Right now, I apologize, but I'm going to cut you loose.
See you in a bit.
All right, I'll see you soon, sir. Thank you so much for joining us. I appreciate it, and I'll talk to you very soon.
Hey, Will?
Yes, sir.
Can you guys resend me the Disney thing? Wait a second. Maybe I can just get right back on.
Yeah. Are we on? Test. Hey guys, listen. We are going to take a little commercial break with no commercials. And we'll be right back with Andras Jones to watch WandaVision, the next episode. Thank you guys very much for sticking around. We appreciate it. We Tess, can you hear me? Can you hear me? I hope you can hear me. I hope we're clear on what the fuck has just happened, because I need to recalibrate. We've got a lot of shit going on. There's a lot of people in the wings waiting to fucking say their give, and I've got to be gracious with that. I hope you allow me to do so, because right now I'm discombobulated. This is profound. If you noticed on the back, there's a scene where there's a cinema. It's a movie theater, and on that, the movie is called The Unbelievables. I'm pacing. I'm pacing because this is like totally misunderstood in the world of COVID. There was a comic book. The comic book was called Tarot. It came out in the end of 2019, the beginning. Like, give us camera. I think it's appropriate to have camera at this point. The beginning of 2020. If you go online, Aaron, once you give us camera.
Yep, camera.
If you go online and do me the favor of looking up the comic book Tarot number 3. Tarot number 3 of Marvel. Just give me the cover. Just go to images. Once you get this, just go to images. No, this one right over here. It says near mint, $4.99. It's not a very expensive comic. This right here, yeah. You download that picture, do whatever it takes to get everybody fucking everybody has to understand this, because we are dealing with a time gap. What we're dealing with is the fact that Marvel planned something to happen at a certain time. And that time fucking lapsed. And we all know that time lapsed because of COVID. Time lapsed. Okay? There was a situation that happened. And that situation was called COVID. And because of that situation, shit was pushed back. So what was supposed to happen in Marvel in the comic books didn't happen at the same time it was supposed to happen as what we saw on the TV. And on the back of the movie theater, if you looked at the marquee, it said The Unbelievables. That cartoon... Okay, this is fucking complicated. This is meta.
Not The Incredibles, The Unbelievables.
Exactly. That little group of comic book characters that is all like fucking, like, that's like Chun-Li from Street Fighter, that little mouse, the monkey, all of that is a group of superheroes called the Unbelievables. And you see you see Vision back there. I think Wanda's in that.
Iron Man,
Like all of them.
Captain America.
That's the Avengers mixed with the Defenders. We talked about the Defenders earlier. The Defenders started with
Is that
the
Doctor
Human
Strange
Torch.
in there too?
Yeah, absolutely. Now, if you look at the marquee on the movie, the name of the movie is The Unbelievables. Ashcon. What up? This is Ashcon. The probabilities of Ashcon's deliverance we've reached. That right there is The Unbelievables. That's in WandaVision. We have complete tarot confirmation. The spider web, every point on the spider web, you're not looking at the lines, you're looking at the points. These are Easter eggs. I don't know why, but I'm eating these leftover candies of Easter eggs. We have confirmation. What got fucked up here is the fact that this complete plan was postponed because of COVID. We have the devil card, but we do not have Mephisto. Every character in that episode was wearing devil horns. True?
There's some Freddy Kruegers and like.
There's a lot of Freddy Kruegers. Let's get Andros on the phone.
Scarecrows.
We need to talk to Andros. There were so many Freddy Krueger references that I am like,
Friday the 13th.
even the spider, the spider web is part of Andros Jones's. What the fuck is going on?
We got Mike Porter say hello.
Mike, I love Mike Porter, but that was an old message. We need to talk to Andros. I don't care. I'm sleeping on this couch, guys.
No, that was after the show. That was after we came back.
I'm sleeping on this couch. We're here. If I have to edit this afterwards, I will. I don't give two dams. I don't give one damn. We have clowns. We have mimes. I will crack Easter eggs all goddamn night if I have to. But that glitch in the Matrix should still be on the line. Oh, God bless you. We're gonna eat some mini eggs.
What? Royalty audit? Alright.
Straight to L, bro. We're going straight to L tonight.
Whoa,
I need.
Careful with that. Yeah.
Get Andros on the line. Get Andros. Invite Andros. Let's talk to Andros.
Is he gonna call you or should we?
I don't know.
Hold on. You got some chat here.
Look, just give it to me. Fuck. I'm sorry, everyone. I'm sorry to the future me that has to edit this shit. Andros Jones has been waiting on the line. I don't think he's asleep. I don't think he would be asleep at this point. Goddamn.
Well, yeah, you don't need those.
Right? Not right now. Not until we. Absolutely. Yep. That's him. Send it. Don't even send the next one yet. Send the next one to Amos now. Amos. Amos.
Oh, him too?
We're going straight Hebrew.
He's still awake.
Well, then send it to him. And whenever somebody joins.
Well, I need help. I don't.
We got the devil.
I forgot that.
We don't even have like a ton of symbols. Like the grapes and everything. We just have direct confirmation. And that's cool. Am I still like... Yeah. Everybody can hear me. I hope everyone can hear what I'm saying. Because we have meta level confirmation. Like, it's totally bonkers. Nah. Wiener can have this card. I don't want it.
Oh, there he is.
Mr. Jones,
Yes.
can we hear him? Because I can't hear him yet.
So, absolutely no sense of humor.
I hope you're staying with us. I'm glad you have to this extent.
Yeah.
Andros, I can't hear you yet, so please.
I'm here.
We can definitely see you.
Well, what the heck?
Huh?
I'm
Just do
talking.
what you do, man.
Oh, hold on. The headset is off. Okay, you gotta hit the volume. This thing. Now you're good.
Andros.
Yes.
No, it's out of batteries.
True?
Yeah. Get the charge cable for you. Alright. Ready?
Andros.
Yes.
Oh my God, I can hear you. What wisdom can you give me? Can you hear me?
Well, yes, I can hear you.
Okay. Continue, please.
Well, the Radio 8-Ball works. I mean, you only get one 666th episode. I mean, how many projects in our lives do we make that many of any of it? And the fact that it lined up that way to predict, like, it was going to be our 666th episode if you hadn't, whether you'd roped us into WandaVision or not. But the fact that we nailed it, once again, that's kind of my sync. The fact that we nailed it so far on the outskirts that it was so, like, that it Amos just sent me a text saying I got to wake up early. He wants to say thank you to you, and he had a blast.
Absolutely a pleasure.
Even though you couldn't pronounce his name.
I did a couple of times correctly.
I added that last
Not
part.
all the time.
You got it right. No, actually, you know what? I should glass half full at this time of night. Although your meta egg is actually an egg half empty.
Absolutely. That is not a lie. It's not. I appreciate
I'm
your
looking
sincerity.
at it right now. It's the truth.
Absolutely. So
yeah, I mean,
Meta Egg has a candy shell, my friend, but there is a deep, deep root of meaning here that we need to explore. I don't care. My facade, my surface facade is planned.
wait, your surface facade, that's the same thing.
I know. Like a
You
clown.
might as well say your surface facade mask.
A clown
guys.
a clown is much deeper than he appears, true? Like I remember my earliest recall of a clown was in Montgomery, Alabama, about this clown whose face was like it was painted in a frown, you know, and he was like the deep clown.
Yeah, that's your kind of clown.
That's my kind of clown.
Do you know about absolutely no sense of humor?
I will soon.
Absolutely no sense of humor is a video I did it's a video I came out with in March of 2020. We produced it in February
with Andy
of
Dick.
2020.
I have not listened to it, but I remember the image.
It's all
Of
about
you.
a true. It's all about a true story. It is the video isn't a true story. The video is art, and not my art. I contributed to the art, but it was it was really more about Andy and the director, and I allowed it, and I got to work on. I produced it, and I'm very happy with it. And it was a really great thing to participate in. But the true story in the song, which isn't really in the video, is of a clown. A comedian who I made the mistake of referring to just flippantly as, like he'd sent me a bunch of angry messages. And I was like, I made the clown sad. And somehow that led to this very angry, gigantic man getting very angry, like who's the comedian, getting very angry at me and like chasing me around this bar. And he's like, in all these different ways since then, like, you know, all these different, like, I won't go into all the synchronicities of it, but really ruined me in some pretty shitty ways. I don't want to get into all of that, but that it's all around the misinterpretation of the word clown. And to be honest, my inability to let go of the fact that I find that to be hilarious. I can't handle it. A comedian who gets mad that you might have called him a clown, to me it's almost like, you know, people say I would die on that hill. I don't think they really mean it. But I've
seen that before. I've seen actual individuals who are basically comedians getting mad at you.
Oh, yeah.
Clowns.
I mean, that's...
Don't you think that was weird? Come on, man. You have to admit the fact that
when
that
the
was
clowns
weird,
showed
right?
up, no, when the clowns showed up...
But there was
and
clowns and mimes. There was not just clowns. It was clowns, and then it was like a fucking thing, and then it was mimes.
Hey, we haven't invited Amos.
I know.
Amos is always invited. It's his house.
Well, you know, I don't know if anyone told you, but this magic we're doing,
It's pretty powerful shit, man.
it's real.
I don't even understand it. I'm just letting it slide.
I know, yeah. Well,
Okay.
Did you still want to invite the other guy?
Yes,
but
please.
we hit the. So, do we agree that this was the devil card?
Absolutely. It wasn't the devil card that I expected. Like we still
It was way more obvious, probably.
it was way more obvious. It was weird because all of this has been on the nose. You know what I mean? But it hasn't been expected, which is brilliant.
I'm a little worried about making the Russians the potentially evil ones, but you know, there's also some sympathy for the.
Sympathy for the devil. Just say it. Just say it.
So
Just say it. You know what that frame means. You know, like, we have to have sympathy for the devil. Like, all the characters are Wanda. Wanda's the devil. And that's effed. I'm like, you're so fitted for this conversation. It's like I can. Would you text your friend Amos right now for me and tell him that we sent him another email to invite him to this conversation?
no, he sent a text. I told you, saying he's down for the night.
He's down for the night.
Yeah, but he had a great time and he loved it. But yeah, you know, he clowned his way in and clowned his way out. And one of the great things about Amos, but you know, to me, see, this is what I'm telling you is that a misinterpretation of the word clown has ruled the last 2 or 3 years of my life, not only creatively, but also sort of like in a terrifying and terrible way, you know, like the fire that hardens you. And to have that be at the core of this sink and have it be wrapped around a friend who's one of the friends who like is a stick with you kind of friend. Who not only just through his own character but synchronicity puts them there at these ideal moments to be the integrity person who reminds you that you're not going crazy because they see what's going on. That's wrapped around like the way I'm a clown is wrapped up in it is just really not that I'm a part of any of this, but that Amos is the guy who.
But no,
is,
I would say that you are a part of this.
This was great. I loved how this episode was really. How you got to have. I loved the attention you gave to Amos's work, and it was nice how much you talked about me, and that was fun. But I thought you did. It was just watching it. It was great. A few times I wanted to chime in, but then I was glad I wasn't there to interrupt. So it was good. Good job.
And you. Thank you. Our relationship, like, I don't want you to ever misconceive that I am very enthusiastic about our relationship. Although it has been temperate, to say.
Temperate?
Yeah.
That makes it sound like it's been. That's I think
It's been stormy.
exactly. It's the opposite of temperate. Yes.
No.
There's been a high temperature.
Yeah. But like when in 2012, you and I
I didn't know you in the 20th century. You
Yeah.
could be a part. You could totally be an NPC.
I was completely an NPC. But you were not. I mean, in the 20th century, I was like influenced by you without knowing I was influenced by you. Does that make sense? Like, I had seen Good Morning Miss Bliss. I remember this from Good Morning. The episode that you're in from Good Morning Miss Bliss was this. Like, I think, like, Screech did something like this. Like, he was like, don't hit the face. And he did this. Or something similar. Like, I can't remember what he did. But when you cornered Dustin Diamond in the bathroom of JFK Middle School or whatever, in Good Morning Miss Bliss. The episode that you
Hold on a second. I gotta stop the video here. Yeah, I'm bringing up the video so I can see you showing stuff.
In that video, Dustin Diamond does that thing where he like, don't hit the face. Me and my brother did that. Me and my brother, like, we would get mad at each
That's
other.
the power of film, man.
That's the power of film. I'm pretty sure.
Business.
I'm pretty sure that I
Film
like
and
copied
TV.
your haircut from like Nightmare on Elm Street Part 4. I'm pretty positive that I was like, yeah, that's the shit.
Well, all I can tell you is that as far as film, which means kind of as far as anything, I've just never, like, none of it's been good, but I've never faked it. And I've approached it all like it was sacred. And it's moments like what you're describing that justify that pretension.
Pretension.
You know, that something like acting in Good Morning Miss Bliss might be a sacred endeavor. But you have to understand, when I was doing it, I was 19 years old, 18, 19, 20 years old, and I had moved out to Hollywood, and I was acting in movies and having a band with my best friend, and life seemed immense and opportunities infinite. And that leads to a great deal of arrogance. But the good part of that arrogance is that those moments, like you're talking about, like I know how bad Good Morning Miss Bliss is, but I know that might be the most pure acting experience, like one of the top acting experiences I've ever had, because we shot it in continuity in front of an audience, and I was working with Haley Mills on one end, like a legendary actress, and Dustin Diamond on the other end, this like supremely talented kid who obviously went on to be something special, at least in terms of what they were able to milk him for. And and I know that my experience on that set was really fucking special, but I know it's also bad and dumb, but when you describe that, I'm like, okay, well, there was something sacred squeaked through, something for you and your brother to play with. And that was Dustin's thing. I didn't have anything to do with that, but I was on the periphery of it. I was in the blast zone of it, and I was treating it like it was Rebel Without a Cause or, Hamlet or something.
But I mean, that's kind of important. I mean, if you take every role that you have in life like it was Hamlet, do you know what I mean? Like, if you approach every situation that you're in, whether it be significant or not, like Hamlet, it's not necessarily like guaranteed that you'll be successful. But I mean, how is your happiness level? Are you happy?
What a terrible thing to ask anyone. What I will say is that I am happy with my work. And that includes all of these terrible films and TV shows and things that I've been video games that I've been in.
That's important.
You know, I feel like I appreciate consistency. And I think one of the things that you have documented really that you helped me to see about what I was doing that I already saw, but to have someone else see it is always really, it like verifies it scientifically in a way that there is a consistency to the badness of what I've been involved in that in itself has a kind of goodness to it. And I've always felt that, but you know, of course, on the inside, that's how everyone feels about their lives. Had to have that verified by someone else is, you know, that's the power of film. I think probably if everyone else could have documented their arrogant and pretentious adventures in their late teens and early 20s when they were at their most arrogant and beautiful, then they would also be able to have that experience. You know, it's just not everyone got the, you know, whatever. No one should ever wish that, like I was almost to say, like, got the privilege or the luck, but my career is nothing about privilege or luck, I guess. I mean, maybe it is. It's all about both, but it's also, no one would want it. Like, there are people who would look at what I've done and just be like, no. If they were serious about trying to be in this business.
I mean, it would definitely be about privilege. Not yes. In the sense of like...
No, yeah, I know, yeah.
Guilt, but it's like... The late
80s and early 90s. I'm the last generation of just people who could show up in Hollywood.
But your complete randomness. I mean, in a way, you are Wanda because like all probabilities of an individual being part of the films that you were a part of is like it's fucking astronomical.
I'm more like, you know, if I was living in that Wanda's village, I would be someone that Wanda was paying particular attention to. You know who it is? I'm more like Dennis, the mailman.
Absolutely. You are Dennis. Like, you could be... In another universe, you are Dennis. You understand that. And David Urey, I hate to bring him up, but for some reason, he's on the tip of my tongue. Like, David Urey in some universe... Because David Urey is an actor that was actually in Birds of Prey.
Almost is a David Urey type.
Oh, fucking for sure. You're both. You've got that hint.
What's great is if Dennis the Mailman got a spin-off show, he could have a band, and then I could be in the band.
And you would call the three wise men instead of the three clean boys.
What he didn't tell you was that so when we started the Three Clean Boys, we were Three Clean Boys. It was like in the spring, and then we all went away for the summer, and we all came back, and we were by the standards that we measured cleanliness in the spring, none of us were clean anymore.
I won't make it through the summer.
Yes. My boy virginity will not make it through the summer. Yes.
Well, they're in Halloween now.
Fucking absolutely perfect.
But they're in Halloween.
Fucking, we stuck the landing. Andras, we stuck the landing. It was a little bit shaky on the entry, but we stuck the
A
landing.
little bit. I think we crashed. I think this is like... I think the space shuttle exploded several times before we even got the show started. Sorry. With all due respect to the, the victims of that terrible day. But,
Creepy. Fuck.
That's the devil, right? The devil is a big
Absolutely.
projectile exploding.
Absolutely.
Irregardless
It's so
of who-
funny because today Elon Musk was on Joe Rogan. I don't know if you know that.
He's also in a Glitch in the Matrix.
Yeah, absolutely. Made by Rodney Asher. Rodney Asher, listen, we had the Mailman from WandaVision on the show tonight. Please, absolutely, come join Meta Egg. Rodney Asher needs to be on Meta Egg. But if he is not,
Hey, you know what? We are all the... Rodney Asher is the mailman, too.
absolutely. He is the messenger, isn't he?
Wait a second. So now what do you think is going to be the next card?
I fucking am clueless. I am absolutely clueless. I think the devil is severely the card of the night. However, I do not think Mephisto is in that card. We do not have Mephisto. We have 3 episodes, maybe 4, but the rumor is only 3 left. We only have 1 card left. There are so many confirmations on the tarot spread. Even the spider web tonight, did you notice that? The spider web tonight actually showed the same spread. We only have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 dots. But we have 8 episodes. So the next episode, I would predict, is either... It's got to be the Sword. Like, Sword steps in. That guy is probably the leader of Sword. The Justice card, if you look up the Justice card and its meaning, if you look up its meaning on Google, it says a sword will bring equilibrium to the situation. If the rest of this is correct, the Sword card is implied. Who that is? Well, the Moon card has no character. There's nobody in it. This one is Vision. This one is Wanda. This one is Monica. This guy right here was Quicksilver. But the devil was not Mephisto. The devil was only applied to the relationship of Wanda and Vision and Wanda. As all of the other cards, the Magician really wasn't Vision. It was Wanda. The Empress was Wanda. The High Priestess was Wanda. The Fool was Wanda. The Devil was Wanda.
It's all Wanda.
It's all
You gotta
Wanda.
help me, Wanda, yeah.
That's actually, they played that song. Help Me Rhonda, help me Rhonda, by the Beach Boys in one of the episodes. But the last card, if the tarot spread is correct, like what I think, I think they used the bare necessity, like Google definition of the card. And if judgment is the card, that means... Well, shut up, Google. Like, I just said Google, and it thought I was talking it to it. So the judgment, the card is referred to as time of resurrection or awakening. That's judgment. That's not justice. That's judgment. So judgment is interesting because it has to do with resurrection. But we are dealing with justice and not judgment. And
Well, you know what justice? I got to tell you something about justice.
please, because I think that there is a very fine line between the two ideas, judgment and justice.
I'm just going to tell you something. Did you notice the stop sign?
Yeah, it was exaggerated. Like, it looked like the colors. Like, I had a friend who used to say the white bordered stop signs are optional. And that was like, you could see the white of the stop sign was like exaggerated. The color was saturated. They didn't want you to go past that barrier. That was the fucking barrier.
And my point being that even before any of this had happened, when I was thinking about doing the Radio 8-Ball 666th episode, I was really thinking about, well, what really is the archetype of the devil? What is it? What is the feeling tone of it? Because my whole theory about the devil is that the devil is what we put onto other people or what other people put onto us. It's the projection. It's not like the devil card is not so much about like, oh, there's a devil in your midst, but it's like, who are you making the devil, or who is making you the devil? That's how we relate to it as being misunderstood. The devil's a misunderstood card, and so unlike other misunderstood cards, it's very personalized. So I'm sorry, I got a little bit lost because I can get lost in.
The devil card is personalized, and it will confuse your ass if you fucking go too deep. But that's
exactly. It's like the coyote. It's very much like the coyote.
Absolutely, right? The devil is the trickster.
The devil is the coyote, right? So, but what I was thinking about is, so what is the feeling tone of the devil? And the devil is the one who says no. That's who we make the devil. The one who says no. Which is really weird, because the way it's portrayed in literature is like the devil is the one who offers the yes, the illicit yes. But in reality, the one who offers the illicit yes, we appreciate that. We never punish or vanquish the one who offers the illicit pleasure and the yes. We always punish the one who says no on some level. And so when I saw that stop sign, that was to me, like, personally, the one hit.
Well, she moved the goalpost too. You know what I'm saying? It's like there's this logical fallacy called moving the goalposts.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you set a barrier, and then when somebody breaks that barrier, you extend the barrier. So that nobody can, like, you just, like, move the way to score. That's an interesting concept. This is why I like talking to you, man. You're like... See, like, I don't think people understand that. Like, I think movies are dreams basically because of you. And that's because when I studied the work that you did, I realized that your dad had written books about dream interpretation. And his idea.
Dream application more than dream
Right,
interpretation.
exactly. And see, you understand that. I fucking appreciate that, because when you analyze film, they call it application. So if a movie per se has to do with Oedipus, then you say you can apply Oedipus to this movie. Oedipus can be an application to this movie. Whether it's intentional or not, in film analyzation, you say the word application. And your dad did the same thing. He took the idea of dreams and he was like, this is not the interpretation of the dream. He said this can be applied to the dream. And so your dad, whose name was Richard Jones, he was a founder of Evergreen College in Washington State. He did these seminars. Correct me if I'm wrong at any point in time. This is all research based.
I will always do that.
He did these seminars where he would invite individuals to express their dreams, and then he would invite the participants who listened to the dreams to interpret what they meant. But his books, where I think the one that I read in specific, and I cannot remember the title, perhaps you could enlighten me if you remember.
Maybe The Dream Poet, or The New Psychology of Dreaming, or Ego Synthesis in Dreams.
The New Psychology of Dreaming, I think, is the one that I read specifically, where it would have Jungian, Freudian, and I think Erickson interpretations of a dream. So it would give one client's dream, it would then give each individual psychological interpretation of the dream's interpretation. But it would allow all of those. It would put them all on the table and it would say, this has something, this has something, and this has something. Let's consider all. And to me, that has a lot to do with film application. Because there's this.
I think what you might say, because it's in the language of my father's work, you might say you're looking more at film synthesis.
Yeah.
Is that saying, okay, well, whether or not this filmmaker is commenting on this filmmaker, this audience member is commenting on this filmmaker and this filmmaker. Because I'm viewing both, I'm going to synthesize both and discussing them. And that's what you're doing here, like whether or not the creators of the show are using tarot, and I believe it makes as much sense as any that they would. You're choosing to synthesize them, and that synthesis is compelling. Well, it could be. I mean, I think it is, but the idea is that
it allows other synthesis. Like, you can completely say other applications can be applied without like negating my synthesis. Do you?
Yeah.
Like,
because you are the nexus of it, right? You're because I have seen this and experienced this, then I can now express this synthesis of those things. That's what we all are, right?
Yeah. And we can do that to every movie we see. We can do that to every song we see or hear. I mean, we can do that to everything we interpret. We can interpret it.
Yeah, the thing is, it's like as soon as if you start to really talk about it, we all end up sounding just like John Lennon lyrics from like 1968 or 1969. You know, that's anything you can do anything you can do. Like that really, that's the truth of it. You know, if you pay attention to it. But I mean,
all you
that's
need
just
is
sort of
love. All you need is
that's
joy. I mean, all you need.
baseline.
That's
But
the
see, this
baseline.
is what I'm interested in. Is like we just can't. So this was like I don't know. You know, it's your job to synthesize all this and figure out what you think the next card is. But I can say, as like somebody who's been thinking about the devil card, I want to just I guess what I'm trying to say is, one, that stop sign is a very important symbol, and two, I have to be the devil because I got to put up a stop sign. I got to go to sleep. Man, I'm so tired.
Hey! Stop the stream! We gotta go to bed! I'm gonna sleep right here. I'm
Okay.
just gonna sleep right here. Andras, I must thank you for all of your participation. We gotta stop. Homies, we gotta stop. And
Okay.
I really have no idea what we're gonna do in the future.
Yeah.
So I thank you for your our participation up until this point.
I know what we're going to do in the future. I'm going to put out more Radio 8-Ball shows. I really hope people check out this last batch, because this last one for this show was very potent. You know, you only get one 666th podcast, and this was as good as it could be.
Oh.
I hope our 888 is just is, you know, is even better. So,
Well,
thank you, Will.
thank you, sir. And I hope to talk to you soon, okay? Until then,
Yeah. Until then.
see you next egg. All right, let's get out of here. Whatever.
You're still on stream.
We got to cut them both off. Will, you are so deep. Mike, you might not realize this, but so are you. Until we meet again, guys. See you next egg.